What is going on, everybody? It's Favorite Cowboy back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at another trailer breakdown. I am a little late on this. This is June 1st. That's yeah, not looking too good. But there is a new one. There's a new one that actually premiered 10 hours ago about the hands-on presence of this game, which I haven't looked at real quick, but I want to take a look at the first two since they are the most talked about. And Sonic Frontiers looks rough. I'm gonna say it now. It looks just it the potential's there. Okay, let me say that now. The potential for a good game is there, but the thing is, we are 6 months away, and you're already seeing problems from both these trailers because from the very first frame, you can see something wrong with this. Is that there was just a bunch of ramps and loop-de-loops just scattered everywhere with no rhyme. Like, seriously, what the fuck is this? What is this? Like, it just looks like they just dumped a bunch of assets onto the world. Like, I don't understand why any of this is even here. Like, what? It, I don't. Like even here, even here, like there's just a bunch of random like pathways you can take that lead to nowhere, ramps. Like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, even in this one, the newest one still has it. Like, what are you supposed to make of this? This is just unacceptable. We're 6 months away from the game being released, and we just get nothing. Like, come on, man. Anyways. So I want to take a look. I don't want to go too much into the first two because they were already talked about a lot. And then we're actually going to go into this one, which really hasn't been seen yet, which I haven't seen yet. So let's just go ahead and look into the first trailer, which is the world premiere. And I'm just going to skim through a couple things real quick because Sonic runs extremely slow from the first moment you see him. That is his running. That's all it's going to be. And that's all it's fast going to be from the entire trailer. And yeah, he can go up springs and whatnot, but like, I don't understand what they. Also, why can't he just roll through the crates? I don't know, man. Like, there's just so much wrong about Sonic's movement and speed. It's just, I don't understand it. Like, you can see parts where he goes fast, but that's okay. Not okay. That this is a bad example, but like you can see parts where he can go fast for sure, but that's like that is all accompanied by his boost, and that's really the fastest you're going to go is his boosting ability, where you are just going to be spamming boost, and that is the fastest you are ever going to go in this game. And this really does leave a really negative impression for what you're going to be seeing in this game. And another thing is, a lot of the animations just look very clunky. Like, it's hard to say. Like, when he's going up a boxes and he's like knocking them over, it just looks clunky. Even when he's like climbing up a ramp, like we see earlier in the video. Like, you can see him run up a ramp, and there's like such a huge delay where it's very noticeable. And I don't understand. Okay, again, what is this? Moving on. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of there's a lot of ramps, and there's a lot of grinders you can grind on, and it's like you can have these like little things you can do for like maybe 2 minutes, and then this is pretty much the entire game. Like, look how fast Sonic runs when he's not boosting. It doesn't, like, he has no sort of momentum when going up a hill or down a hill. He goes that fast the entire time, and it really doesn't look good. And it's like they added, okay, first of all, I want to point this out with the, I know he tries to do some tricks here, but it, when you look at it, you look at it. Like, what the fuck is that? It's like he's trying to touch his toes. like in the air. Like, come on, Sonic, you gotta touch your toes and head, shoulders, knees, and toes, whatnot. But it's like most of his speed and momentum comes from just spamming the boost button, and it doesn't look good. Like, there's nothing good about it. Another thing is like, yeah, you have like these little puzzles and such throughout the whole map, but it doesn't seem like they're really there for any purpose other than just to have filler in the game. It's like with these open world games, these filler, these like little missions and whatnot, they have purpose behind why you're even getting there. But behind all of this, it just looks like you're just randomly going through the same loop de loops and the same rings and going through the same platforming throughout the entire game. And it looks weird. Like his animations look very clunky and he's just so slow, man. Like this is very disappointing to see because honestly, the environment looks great and all, but uh, again with this, like it, it's just like the gameplay itself. It just feels like Sega just kind of threw a bunch of assets in there. I was like, all right, have fun, I guess. Like this is the open world game, everybody. Have fun doing like 2 minutes of gameplay for like 100 different times. Anyways, moving on to the combat. Now, the combat I'm actually okay with. The combat, there are a lot of layers behind the combat. Like you can see him doing combos, and there are different attacks to how you can defeat the enemies. Aesthetically wise, they're okay. Again, really need to think more about the story going on here, but they're okay. I mean, you got some different enemies here and there. Like you got this flower looking thing, and what I do like is that you have different ways to defeat these enemies. Like there's not just one way you can defeat these enemies. Yeah, that's cool. That looks like it should be in Smash. But the combat is the only like saving grace of this game right now because it's just all the different attacks you can do to defeat the enemies. Like even if we go like all the way to the boss battle that's right here, you can see that there's obviously the way you mainly get to the boss, but there's also right here at the bottom where you can attack his feet and you get rewarded for that. Like you get rewarded for trying out new different combo skills. And that is the only saving grace of this game that I see so far. Because everything else looks so off and clunky, and honestly it looks exactly like what Twitter has deemed it, a tech demo. Because Sonic's speed and momentum is extremely slow. The combat is, while nice, isn't backed up by anything else. The level design, well, I can't even call it level design because it's just a bunch of like, it's just a bunch of random shit thrown all over the place. Anyways, now on to the real part of the video where we actually talk about the first impressions, which is new and I haven't seen yet. So let's just dive straight into it. Yep, still a good movie. Always gotta love that movie. Actually, that's actually why this video is actually a little later than I expected because what I have planned for, which you might have saw on my Twitter, what I have planned for the future does have to do with Sonic, and it does have to do with that movie. I'm not gonna tell you what, but it is something big. It's not a review, but it is something related to the Sonic movie, and that's all you're going to get off of me until future updates. Um, I think we're already worried. Like we're already worried for how he's doing. What? Anyways, let's keep going. I, why do you add? Like, come on, man. At least like lay it out better. Like, I honestly, if I look at the same exact thing every single time they show it, we're gonna be here forever. Let's keep going. Let's just assume that it's a part of like a level or something. Okay, so we do get a little bit of story here. So he goes through a wormhole. See, that's fine and all, but it doesn't necessarily excuse all the random assets being thrown on the map. Like I do like the concept of the story though. Like it's different, you know. We got to get Sonic his open world game. Fuck it, throw him through a black hole, and then there's a ghost like telling him where the Chaos Emerald are, I guess. Intentional. Okay. And like this is the one thing that might save the game is the fact that the aesthetics of the game do appease to the mystery of the story. That in the combat. What? Open zone? D- what? What is Zelda then? What is Breath of the Wild then? It's a 3D. What? Open zone. Okay, but what does it lead to? Okay, but where does it lead to? Okay, but where does it lead to? Like that, I feel like that's the question of the day. That these don't lead and like these don't do anything except like very few rewards. Okay, at least he acknowledges it. Okay, at least he acknowledges that there's definitely something wrong with everything about the levels down. I'm not calling it like a open zone world. Like I'm not calling it that. It's an open world game. These aren't you can't call these zones because they don't like as far as we can see there's no enemies. There's like hardly any enemies on all these springs and platforms. Sure, the enemies are scattered throughout the world, but it doesn't look like there's any enemies along the path through the zones, if you call it. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of potential here, but it just feel like they're missing the mark here. I feel like this should be a better transition animes for that. Like, it's a feel more natural. See, I don't know. I feel like this would be a little more difficulty behind this because it doesn't look like there's a lot of enemies along the way to the different paths you're going. Like if you really want to get to the zones you need to get to, I feel like there should be like I should like there should be areas where you can run to get to where you're supposed to go, but it's a lot more difficult. Like you can go accidentally run into difficult areas. And I feel like that's kind of the charm behind open world games that you're always exploring and your exploring can lead you to very dangerous areas but give you very good rewards. I feel like that's what this game should be doing is that you can it also like with the zones like you can accidentally run into a zone that's like really difficult to do but it gives you a really good reward. And it's not just like platform, like there's actual enemies standing your way while you're in the zone, but also while you're running to the zone. But it doesn't look like there's much. Yeah, like the combos again, I really do like about this game. Like there's a lot of ways you can defeat these enemies, and that's why I like just that freedom of combat. That's the ones I am mouth. At least we're getting like an actual gameplay, like an actual like reactive video on this, like reactive video on the actual gameplay that you're seeing. And I like that there's like legitimate feedback coming back from this person, like how the level zones feel out of place and scattered throughout the map and feels clunky. And yeah, that's true. I feel like that's like a good thing that we're hearing. I feel like these bosses have a face. I don't know why. It's just I feel like all Sonic bosses like have a face. Even the Genesis kind of looks like he has a face. I don't know. I do like the how boss battles attack patterns in this though. Like I've said this for a million times, but the combat definitely is a saving grace of this game. But the combat isn't going to save it from the level designs or zone designs, they want to call it. It's just when you have really good combat but really bad everything else, it doesn't balance. That's good. Okay, that's good. I like that. That now we're getting more information on why you have to beat these bosses. Like there's different goals to get different keys, and those keys can lead to a chaos emerald. I do like that. But again, when it comes to these zones, they're a little all over the place, and it doesn't look like you're gonna get much rewards out of them outside of the bosses, which gives you the coveted keys, which can lead to the emeralds. You are 6 months hunts ahead. Get to work. Bugs. Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, out of place level designs are definitely bugs. Yeah, sure. It's like there's a lot. There's a lot that can be done here. Do I feel like they can get done within 6 months? No. They can fix the bugs all they want. They can tweak the boss all they want. But the fact that these level designs don't have a natural flow into those zones and that they kind of scatter all over the place and it doesn't look like there's much rewards behind it, it looks it feels like they're just giving you filler gameplay before you get to the actual storyline missions, and that doesn't that doesn't feel right. Like these zones need to at least have some kind of purpose behind it besides just giving you like some power-ups or whatever. Like they need to actually make you feel like what I'm trying to say is these zones need to make you feel like you fall in love with the game. These zones need to force you to fall in love with Sonic Frontiers. And I feel like the things we're seeing now, when you're just doing the same exact thing like 100 times over before you actually get to the bosses, these these are just there just to exist. Like they're there just to play, but you're not actually falling in love with it. It's just kind of going through the motions until you actually get to the good stuff. And I just don't think it works. It I don't think it's justifies the existence of an open world game where you are just practically fucking around for hours, just kind of running around doing absolutely nothing before you actually get onto the main story. And yeah, you're supposed to explore in open world games, but the the best part about open world games and exploring in them is that those open world games like make you fall in love with exploring, and you get rewards from it, and you get more lore behind it outside of the main story. And I feel like that's something we're just missing here. It feels a little cash grabby. Like outside of like the bosses we're given and the combat, it feels a little cash grabby, honestly. But I guess we'll have to see. It doesn't look good though. But anyways, guys, that's what it'll be it for the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified of future content releases. I'm Fabulous Cowboy, signing off.